Um, Good evening, everyone. So my topic, I'm presenting on robust heuristics and genetic algorithm. So first, before going to what is robust heuristics, let's see what is actually heuristic. It's basically a technique or an approach for solving a problem, either like a simulation problem or a self-solving discovery kind of a problem that employs any kind of practical method and which will be useful in our real life. And you can't guarantee here an optimal or a perfect solution, but it's just that you can just go to an immediate result. And this is also called as short-term goal. Coming to robust heuristics, it's the most common algorithm found in optimization using the simulation software. And by robust heuristic method, we here mean that it doesn't majorly depend on any strong problem structure like continuity, wherein the format of continuity will be E of y of x meaning till x1 till xm. And it can also be applied to many mixed type of decision variables and many more. Now, suppose if we have k different possible solution for one single problem, like example, if x is the solution and we have n number of solution like x1, x2 till xk, so we have k number of solutions for one problem. We have to now select that one particular solution. Like say if xi is the perfect optimal solution, we have to select that xi solution which is optimal for the particular problem. And when we select that optimal solution, it will be denoted as y of xi. And here our goal is to find the solution x star, which will basically minimize the value of e of y of x. So there are different robust algorithms which we will be using: genetic algorithm, taboo search, and random search. So first, now in the next coming slides, we will be learning about the genetic algorithm. So here is a genetic algorithm, or it's also called as the GA algorithm. It operates on population of P solutions. And there might be like multiple copies of the same solution. Like for one single, you have the same solution n number of times repeating. And also you will have same solutions from the previous iterations also coming for the next iteration too. So what happens in such a situation is that from one iteration to the next iteration, the population or the solution, what we call, or the solution set, will evolve in such a way that the good solution will just survive and also give birth to new solutions or better solutions, and the one which is inferior solution, which is not so called as good solutions, will be removed or eliminated from the population or solution set. And it's a very efficient technique for optimization and machine learning applications. It's very much widely used in business, scientific, and engineering purposes. And here we have the flow chart of the, so here we have the flow chart of the genetic algorithm. So first we are going to start. So first we are going to start, and then we are going to create some initial random population. Later we're going to find the fitness of each population or solution set. That depends on the question again. And then we will check whether what we have found, the answer is optimal or is it good enough. If it is the optimal or good solution, then we will end the problem there. If it is not, then we will go ahead to either reduce or kill the population or any one of the population in the solution set. And then again we'll mutate the population and we'll again go back to step 2. We keep doing this until unless we get a good or optimal solution. Now we'll understand this by an example. So here the question says maximize the function f of x square, this is x square, with x having the interval 0 to 31. That means x will be having the value 0, 1, 2 till 31. So the first step is we have to generate initial random population. Randomly, we can just take any 4 values, but in binary format. So I have taken here 4 different values in binary format. This is the first step. Next, we will go for the second step. Second step, we have to evaluate the fitness. So here, evaluating fitness meaning we have to change these binary values what we've taken to integer and then square it up. Why squaring is because the question says f of x is x square. So if in place x square, if it was x plus 1 or x plus 2, you should have done x plus 1. So here first I have converted the binary to integer values. This is 13, 24, 8 and 19. Then we have squared the values, 13 square, 169, 24 square. We have done the square of each values. This is the second step. Then going to the third step. Third step is a selection step. Now we're going to select one value which is the optimal out of all the selected values. So there's a table. Here we have the string number 1, 2, 3, 4. And the initial populations are nothing but the 4 random binary numbers that I have selected. X value is the integer value, respective integer values of these binary numbers. Then fitness is the squaring of these X values. PI, how to find this PI is, the formula is here. Formula to calculate PI will be f of X. That is this. For what this one I'll tell. First, it's 169 divided by 1170 gives us value 0.14. That is how we have found PI here. So for each, we have to do the same thing to find the values of these PI. We have added the fitness value here, summed up everything, and we have summed up PI also. And coming to the expected count, or N, here how we have solved expected count is, we have taken PI into 4. This 4 is nothing but the number of strings. So here I have taken 4 strings. So in it's random again, you can take 5, 6, n number of strings as you require. As I have taken 4 strings here, it is 0.14 into 4, which is 0.56. The same way 0.49 into 4, 0.06 into 4, 0.31 into 4 gives us the values of the expected count. And we have again summed up all of these. Now here we have to select one thing. How do we select is that you have to select a population or a solution P in such a way that the least value will not be selected. You will select the highest value from the expected count. So from this column, which is the highest, you're going to select that. So among all these, the highest is 1.97. So I've said selected string 2 because it has got the highest expected count value, which is 1.97. So this is one main string. And also we are going to eliminate one string which has a least value. So here the least value is 0.22. That's a third string. So this row we'll be eliminating. Now coming to the fourth step. Fourth step is the crossover. So how does crossover happen is we have to just select one random position and we have to do crossover for it. I'll just give an example how that actually happens. So we have taken an example of 2 random strings. This is not related to the sum, but just some random number in binary form. So I'll just select this point, as you can see the red mark, that is one crossover point after 3 digits, after 3 bits of the binary number for the first one, and for the second one also I've taken this as a crossover point. Now what I'll do, I will mix 101 and 11101 and make it as one string. This is a new string I'll get after crossover. I'll mix the first half of the second string with the second half of the first string, and that will be my first new string after crossover. Similarly, I will mix 100 and 01011 and make it as my second string. So after crossover, I'll get somewhat like this. That's what I told. 10100, see, 100 and 01011. That is my first one, and 101 11101. 11101. That will be my second new string after crossover. Now we will continue with the sum. In the sum, again, we'll write the string number. Here we have taken off the third string as it had the lowest value. So instead of third, we're going to re-repeat the second string itself. That's why I've written 2 only instead of 3 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 string numbers. And there is a mating pool, or you can call it as a string values itself. So 1, as usual, we have written the same values, but instead of third one, we have re-repeated the second one itself. And fourth one. Now crossover point. Now for each of these values, we have to select one crossover point. So first, for the first and second one, I've selected the 4th bit as a crossover point. Like after 4 bits, I've taken that as a crossover point. And for the second and third and the fourth strings, I've taken second point as the crossover point. So as we know how to do crossover, after crossover, there's a 4, 2, 2 as a crossover point selected. Now we will, after crossover, we get these are the bits available for us. Now the X value is again finding the integer values of these binary values. I have found 12, 25, 27, and 16. Fitness, again squaring of this, 12 square, 25 square, 27 square, and 16 square. So after finding the fitness f of x, we have summed up and we have written the value 1754 is the final one. I've just mentioned below. Then next is the mutation. So how does mutation happen is we can just take any random chosen bit. So wherever there is 0, it will be changing to 1. Wherever there is 1, it will be changing to 0. That's how mutation happens. So the same table comes here. String is 1, 2, 2, 4. So here what I'm not writing the starting selected strings here. Here I'm writing these strings. After crossover, I've got these strings. So I'll be writing that strings over here. Okay, these are the new strings after crossover. So I'll be writing those and I'll do mutation. So how mutation happened here, in the first string, I have selected my first bit as a mutation operation string. So here 0 is there, it is turned into 1. So it is 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. That happens after mutation operation. And I am not going to do any operation for the second strings. These two strings, I'm not doing any operation. The reason here is because it had the highest value, expected value. So that's the reason I didn't do any mutation operation on that. But it is possible, you can do it. It's left to an individual. Again, in the fourth string, I've taken the third bit as the mutation operation. So it is turned from 0 to 1. So this is after mutation operation what we get. And x value, again, the respective integer values we'll write down. And then fitness, squaring it. And after squaring, I'll get the summing up as 2354. So how do we come to the end of the solution is, so we have to see the fitness f of x values for all the three. That is the selection, crossover, and mutation. So if we see that for selection, we had got the f of x value after summing up all the values, we got 1170. For crossover, we got 1754. And for mutation, we got 2354. So what can we tell from this is all these three steps, from all these three steps, we can tell the question is being verified. That means the question said that we have to maximize the f of x value. So after each and every step, we are getting the, after final mutation step, we got the highest, or we have maximized the value from one step after the other. So we can say that f of x has been maximized and the value of f of x was 2354. So how do you basically end a GA is, or genetic algorithm is, it can be terminated after a specified number of iterations, either if there is little or no improvement seen in the solution set or population. So here we are seeing some improvement that's happening in our population, and according to the question asked, we have maximized it also. So if you either continue again with the next iteration, coming again from selection, crossover, mutation, you might either get higher numbers or the same numbers might get repeated. So as we have got the final output as it is there, it's showing some changes. I think it is good to stop at this step, and that will end our sum. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.